Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, another shooting at a college late last night. We have the details.
And the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize was announced.
And a medical study reveals a possible gene for homosexuality.
All that and more. This is Citrus TV News Live at 6.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm Monica Hammer.
And I'm Jacob Reynolds. A chapter of a national think tank has come to the SU campus. That's our top story tonight. There's a new think tank on campus, and it's run by students. Citrus TV reporter Claire Moran was at their meeting earlier this week to see what types of policies they are talking about.
The Roosevelt Institute is a national nonprofit that aims to combat today's problems following the example of Franklin and Eleanor Roosevelt. Through their campus network, students across the country meet to talk about issues in their communities. Syracuse is starting a chapter this year. President Weston Young said he got the idea after going to an event hosted by the national organization.
A group of students presented research they had done at this event, and so after seeing those presentations, I thought it would work very well at Syracuse, given sort of the interest in, my interest in public policy and students in the citizenship and civic engagement major. I thought it would work very well.
This semester, students are trying to submit proposals to the national group's 10 Ideas Journal. The Syracuse group is broken up into 6 smaller groups that each address one of the 6 categories in the policy journal. These ideas are due December 1st. Group leaders will meet with their small groups again next week to talk about their specific policy issues. The full group won't get together again until 2 weeks from now in this room or another one like it to talk about what happened at those smaller meetings.
Next semester, we definitely want to do a Rethinking Communities project, which is usually focused to one specific policy thing that we want to change or improve, either within the university or across the community.
The Roosevelt Institute will also be teaming up with other groups on campus to host Jamming for Justice in November. The event will pair a social justice involvement fair with a concert. Claire Moran, Citrus TV News.
Orange After Dark is celebrating its 5th successful year of late-night programming. OAD has brought SU students events like Cosmic Bowling, murder mystery dinners, and discounted movie screenings. The program aims to give students safe off-campus entertainment options.
Lieutenant Dan will be honored by the U.S. Military Academy at West Point on October 22nd. Gary Sinise will be presented the annual Thayer Award, an honor given to citizens who serve the national interest. Sinise is best known for his roles in Forrest Gump and the TV show CSI New York. And time is running out for firefighters to apply for a scholarship program covering community college tuition across New York State. The Firemen's Association of the State of New York is offering the program to volunteer firefighters as a way to attract new members. Scholarship recipients must fulfill defined volunteer service requirements while also maintaining their grades.
After years of being spread around campus, the Falk School now has one central location. Our own Caroline Strange tells us what this means for students moving forward.
What used to be spread out in 8 separate locations is now housed in one building. The David B. Falk College moved several of its programs into what used to be the law building before Deneen Hall was built.
You know, I've been with the college 7 years now, and from the first day I arrived, there were always discussions about how do we get the college under one roof.
Once a dream, starting a little over 3 years ago, they've worked to make it a reality. The shared space allows for lounges, labs, and the comfort of hallways.
People who have always had that, I think they take it for granted in some of the other schools and colleges because you don't think about it. But in our case, we didn't have it. Think about the winter that we just had. So if you're in the dean's office and you need to meet with some of the faculty from public health, you literally would either have to walk several blocks or get in your car and, dust off the snow and all of that stuff.
From right here on Ostrom Avenue to right here in Whitehall next to the Carrier Dome. The new spaces and labs allow students to practice using the same equipment as professionals who are in their field.
It's just a really wonderful opportunity for students to train. A lot of the seniors who were at the center, they're excited about the center, but they said, wow, we wish you had this 3 years ago.
Caroline Strange, Citrus TV News.
And when we come back, could President Obama take executive action on gun control?
And North Korea recognizes a historic anniversary. Don't go away.
It was a cloudy, cool, and very rainy day, but what do things look like for your weekend ahead? All what you need to know and your full 5-day forecast. When Citrus TV News returns, right after this.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Some major changes are coming to a military program that trains Syrian rebels.
The Pentagon announced earlier today they will change the focus of the program to equip established resistance groups rather than training new ones.
The $500 million program to train rebels to fight ISIS had been wildly considered a failure, prompting the overhaul.
And one person is dead and 3 more wounded after another college shooting. The gunfire erupted outside of a dormitory at Northern Arizona University earlier this morning.
The condition of the 3 students being treated at Flagstaff Medical Center is still unknown. Both university and Flagstaff police are investigating, and officials have said the shooting started as a fight between 2 student groups.
And President Obama meets with the families of the Umpqua shooting victims today as he considers taking gun control legislation into his own hands. The president could be issuing an executive order to require stricter background checks when buying guns.
The Senate denied a similar measure back in 2012 following the Sandy Hook shooting. Recent polls say 9 in 10 Americans now support expanding background checks. And Hillary Clinton met with members of the Black Lives Matter movement in Washington today. Members of Campaign Zero, an affiliated organization working to end police brutality, were also in attendance.
Clinton's promises to confront systemic racism and police brutality have not been universally accepted by the Black Lives Matter movement. This was the second official meeting between Clinton and Black Lives Matter activists.
The Alpha Tau Omega fraternity at Indiana University has closed the chapter after a vulgar video was released.
The chapter recorded a video of their brother taking part in sexual acts with 2 exotic dancers, while other members cheered him on. The man involved was an initiated member, and about half of the total fraternity membership was involved. After a week of anticipation, the Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded. A Tunisian coalition called the National Dialogue Quartet won the prestigious award for helping Tunisia avoid civil war.
The group has been recognized for keeping Tunisia on the track to democracy following the Arab Spring. Members of the group include workers, employers, human rights activists, and lawyers.
The Nobel Peace Prize Committee hopes this prize will encourage the Tunisian people.
And North Korea is celebrating its ruling party's anniversary tomorrow with what is expected to be one of the biggest celebrations in the country's history.
The festivities are in honor of the Kim dynasty's 70th year in power. Ceremonies will demonstrate military power and strength of the dynasty, which is now in its third generation.
Police are investigating a stabbing in southern Israel today that injured 4 Arabs. Police say a Jewish suspect has been arrested in the attack.
The stabbings happened in the town of Dimona and were likely all carried out by one suspect. This comes amid a recent surge in knife violence by Palestinians against Israelis. 4 Israelis have been killed in stabbings in Jerusalem since last week. And in an interview published today, the Interior Minister of Germany has reported a surge in violence against asylum seekers.
This year alone, there have been almost 500 registered attacks on refugee shelters, including racist graffiti and arson.
And more than 2/3 of suspects live near the camp and do not have a criminal record.
It's been a rainy and cloudy day here in Syracuse.
And Citrus TV weather reporter Nick Ross is here to tell us if the rainy weather will follow us into the weekend.
Thanks, Jake. Yeah, it was a very cool and cloudy day today. 61 degrees we're sitting at right now outside, and that's actually being made a lot cooler by the wind that has really been picking up as the day went on. As we look at it tonight, only a 20% chance of rain overnight. Shouldn't be too much to worry about, but look at that low, 44 degrees it'll get down to overnight, so if you're heading out tonight, you may want to take a jacket along with you. As we look out across the live and telecast radar, we see the last kind of sprinklings of a shower that might move through towards the end of the day here. But as we move forward past this evening into tonight, there shouldn't really be too much to worry about. As we take a look out across the entire country, you see this cold front right here that's kind of coming across the East Coast in the upper part of the country. Here, that's actually what's making things feel so cool. But after that passes us, we should be looking at some warmer weather. So that should get a lot nicer than things have been. As we look out across the country, the rest of the region is looking pretty much at the same temperatures that we are seeing here in Syracuse. Still kind of warm down in the south, but nothing too abnormal across the country today. As we look out at tomorrow, Saturday, 58 degrees, partly cloudy, should be a fairly nice day. No chance of rain tomorrow at all to worry about. And as we look across at the 5-day forecast, you'll see Saturday, 58 degrees. Sunday, we get up to a high of 70 degrees. Monday, 75 and sunny, so that'll be nice. But the rain comes back in on Tuesday, 60% chance of rain on Tuesday. Most of those showers are going to come in the morning. And then Wednesday, there is a slight 20% chance of rain, high of 58 there for you on Wednesday.
So you know we had some rain today, saw the temperatures go down a little bit, but next week we're back in the 70s. Is that normal for October?
Well, it's a little bit abnormal for October, but it's certainly nice to see, certainly enjoyable to have some warmer weather, even though we are getting into fall now.
And now I'm starting to get a little nervous because we're getting into mid-October. When can I start to see that Syracuse winter?
Hopefully not too soon. Like I said, we got a little bit more rain to worry about next week before we get into any kind of snow or anything. So hopefully you don't have to break out that parka too soon.
Good to hear it.
All right, thank you, Nick. And after the break, find out why the FDA is under harsh criticism.
And a rare Pablo Picasso painting is set to go to auction. We'll be right back.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout,
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
The FDA's approval of OxyContin for children with severe medical problems back in August has continued to be criticized. Hillary Clinton has brought up the issue, calling the agency's action, quote, absolutely incomprehensible. The debate centers around the amount of prescriptions doctors are writing for OxyContin for young patients. And a new study may prove a link between homosexuality and genetics. Researchers have come up with a formula that can show someone's sexual orientation by looking at genetic changes in male twins. The research was presented at the American Society of Human Genetics meeting in Baltimore. However, the details of exactly what factors determine sexual orientation have not been made public. And now for your entertainment news, it's a new block we're calling Hammer Time. Monica?
Thanks, Jake. A rare double-sided Pablo Picasso painting is set to be sold at auction for at least $60 million. The painting is currently owned by American businessman Bill Koch, and he brought the painting back in 1984 and has held it in his private collection. In 2000, conservationists discovered a second painting on the reverse side of the canvas, hiding under the lining. And American Idol winner Scotty McCreery announced he is writing his first book. The country singer, who celebrates his 22nd birthday today, will release his autobiography on May 3rd of next year. The autobiography, titled Go Big or Go Home, The Journey Toward the Dream, will chronicle his life. He's also expected to release his fourth album next year. And the director of the blockbuster hit Straight Outta Compton will take over the reins of the Fast and Furious franchise. F. Gary Gray confirmed that he will direct the Fast and Furious 8 movie. This will be the first of the FF films without actor Paul Walker. Actor William Shatner is speaking out about the discovery of water on Mars. The Captain Kirk actor believes the landmark discovery did not get enough coverage in the media. Shatner says the discovery, which could prove the existence of life beyond Earth, deserved much more respect. And actress Ellen Pompeo is calling out Daniel Craig for his controversial comments about the James Bond series. Earlier this week, the actor told Time Out London that he would, quote, rather slash his wrists than do another Bond flick. Pompeo went after Craig on Twitter, saying he needs a reality check. The next Bond film, Spectre, hits the big screen November 6th.
And coming up in sports, Syracuse has its quarterback back ahead of a matchup with an old Big East rival. The Mets take on the postseason for the first time in almost 10 years, and the Giants look to go into first place in the NFC East for the first time this season.
See news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation? Call the Citrus TV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Staring contest.
You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Hey Orange Nation. I'm Brianna Butler on the women's basketball team.
And I'm Trevor Cooney of the men's basketball team.
And the season is right around the corner.
You can get your first look at the teams at Orange Madness on Friday, October 16th.
Come watch us at the Carrier Dome for the first time this season. There'll be a dunk contest.
And after the scrimmages, come get selfies with the teams.
Hope to see you there. We nailed it. Killed it.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun. the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
SU heads on the road for the first time this year. The Orange takes on USF tomorrow down in Tampa. It'll be the first matchup between the two teams in 3 years when both were in the Big East. The Bulls own a 6-2 edge in the all-time series, but Syracuse is 6-2 under Scott Schaefer in games following a bye week. Also, the Orange gets Eric Dungy back under center after suffering an awful upper body injury in the Central Michigan game 3 weeks ago. And our very own DeArbia Walker has more on the freshman play caller.
On the road this week to take on the University of South Florida, and Eric Dungy will make his return at quarterback for the Orange after suffering a concussion during Week 3 against Central Michigan. Coach Lester spoke about Dungy's condition and his progress of being the new leader of this team.
Kind of picked up where I left off, and still makes freshman mistakes, but nothing out of the ordinary. So he's just excited to get back. He's got a lot of energy in the huddle.
Eric Dungy's presence in the lineup will be crucial for the Orange as they approach ACC conference play and tougher opponents. Dungy showed during his first test against Wake Forest he could handle the pressure, throwing 8 of 13 from the field for over 220 yards and rushing for over 35 yards. His mobility and versatility in the pocket will be a huge asset for the Orange going forward. DRB Walker, CitrusTV Sports.
Also going on around the hill, the number 1 and undefeated field hockey team is down in Louisville taking on the number 11 Cardinals. There isn't much going on and it's still scoreless in the first half. The number 22 soccer squad also has a huge matchup this weekend. SU takes on number 2 North Carolina down in Chapel Hill. The Orange has won 5 straight behind sophomore Julian Boucher, who's recorded at least 1 point in 9 straight games. And the volleyball team looks to keep up its undefeated home record when it takes on ACC rival Pittsburgh tonight. The Orange and Panthers have met every year since 1985. Pitt leads the series 34-10 and has won 3 straight. But the Orange is 8th in the nation this year in blocks per set, so it looks to break the Panther streak at the women's building. The Mets are in the playoffs. Let me repeat, the Mets are in the playoffs. For the first time since 2006, New York will play a playoff game tonight. The Mets face the Dodgers in Game 1 of the NLDS. It should be a game and a series defined by the men on the hill. Tonight, Jason DeGrom of the Mets takes on 3-time Cy Young Award winner Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw had a 2.13 ERA, and DeGrom finished up the 2015 campaign with a 2.54 ERA. The two pitchers were 3rd and 4th in the NL in that category. What's crazy, though, is Kershaw only has 1 postseason win in his career. The lefty has struggled in October, going 1-5 with a 5.12 ERA. Jason DeGrom, on the other hand, has never pitched in the playoffs. And in the NFL, the Giants look to not only extend their 2-game winning streak, but can also take over first place in the division with a win. New York faces a reeling San Francisco team who has lost 3 straight. And you can't spell elite without Eli. And well, Eli Manning has been pretty elite the last 3 weeks. The quarterback has 7 touchdowns to 1 interception in his last 3 games. The Bills look to not fall behind 500 for the first time this season. Buffalo heads south to Nashville to take on the Titans. The Bills will once again be without star running back LaShawn McCoy, who will be out for 3 more weeks. And backup Carlos Williams will also be out, so Buffalo will be relying on 3rd string Bishop Sankey. So Tyrod Taylor, now is your time.
Alrighty, now clearly a lot of sports going on this weekend, but obviously the biggest thing for me is the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
So I know the 1 game's tied, 1 went to extra innings already today. Who do you think is going to be in the CSs?
I believe I'm also biased, but I think it's going to be the Rangers and the Astros. I think both teams are just the hottest right now, and I think that's what you kind of look at in the playoffs is what teams are the hottest. And I think the Cubs, I know that this doesn't tickle your fancy, Jake, but I think the Cubs are going to get out. And I think the Dodgers are finally going to get over the hump. They've struggled in October in the past, but I think this may be the Dodgers' year. So that's my prediction.
All right, and Jim, bringing it back to Syracuse football, do you think Syracuse is going to win tomorrow against USF?
I think they are. They've struggled going down to USF in the past, but I think USF has struggled this year. They're 1-3. Syracuse, especially coming off a bye week, I really think, it may be a little bit of a letdown after the LSU game. They were all hyped up and everything, but I think they're going to get the victory tomorrow. So.
Alrighty, and then pro football. If you had to pick your Super Bowl right now, who would it be?
You got to go Packers-Patriots. I think they're by far the best teams in each league. I mean, I think the Patriots, the Bengals are good, but the Bengals have always struggled in the playoffs. So I think the Packers, Patriots, they've been there, done that. So.
Alrighty, thank you, Jim. After the break, one last look at your weather.
Stay with us.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Okay, so Nick, tomorrow morning, remind us, are we seeing rain tomorrow, or what are we looking
Shouldn't
at?
be seeing any rain tomorrow. The last few sprinkles should move out this evening and overnight, so we should be dry tomorrow.
Okay, now is Sunday the best day to go pumpkin picking then?
You might want to. Sunday would be a good day. It shouldn't be any rain in the forecast, so that's always nice to see. It'll be a little cool on Sunday still, so you might want to take a jacket along.
Will do.
Do that.
And we're still looking at those rainy temperatures. Any idea of when we'll be starting to see snow here in Syracuse?
Shouldn't be any snow right away. We're looking at some rain before we even worry about snow, and we're going to be seeing some warmer temperatures next week, so that snow shouldn't be coming in too soon.
Great, glad to hear it. Thank you, Nick. And there's a birthday at the White House today, but not for who you might think.
The Obama's family dog turned 7 today. The first Pooch, Bo, became part of the Obama family after the president's election back in 2008.
He was a present for the president's daughters, Sasha and Malia, soon after the Obamas moved into the White House.
And that's all we have for you tonight. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram for more news updates from your campus news leader. I'm Jacob Reynolds.
And I'm Monica Hammer. Thanks for joining us in Syracuse. You can also check out Citrus TV Noticias this Sunday and some sports shows tomorrow after the game. Have a great weekend, Syracuse.
Keep going, keep answering.